Hey guys, the other day I did an unboxing of some stuff I got from Blue Monkey RC. I got the GCM Scx10 mounts kit and got some MIP drive shafts to go along with that kit. So I didn't really have time to do a video as I build it, an as-build video I guess you could call it. I wanted to do that. I wasn't able to, just haven't had the time. You know, sometimes life takes priority over the hobby. And but anyhow, I got the kit installed, so I'm just going to do a little review of the kit, my thoughts on the build so far, and basically what my plans are from here on out. All right, guys. So I'll try to be as steady as possible with the camera, but this is kind of how she sits right now. There's the front motor plate. It's held in. There's a screw there. There's a screw down here that goes into the mount. Those two screws hold the mount on. Up front, light's not all that great, sorry about that, guys. Up front here, you got the aluminum servo bracket. It's got two screws here on each side. If you have everybody that's familiar with the bumper mounting of the Scx10, normally looks like that right there. Okay, well this basically is the same. Has the holes in the front here for your bumper to go into. The only thing is you have to trim your bumper posts back some. So, as an example, I don't use mine for bumpers. I use mine for my body mounts. So I have these aluminum bumper mounts that came with a bumper mounting kit that I had bought. I think it was an Entity kit, I'm not really sure. But anyhow, that's what I'm using in there. They have these threaded holes in the end that accept 3mm screws. So that's, you know, I built tabs off my body, and they screw into here. Well, these aren't going to slide as far in to this mount as they do this mount. So I'm going to have to trim some of it off. And you know, I'm not really sure how that's going to go yet. Haven't got that far, but basically, if you use this kit and you're using the stock mounts, you're going to have to trim some of the post off that goes into the bumper bracket. All right, there's a cool little transfer case. Now, I had to assemble that. There is a assembly video. It's pretty straightforward, but there is a video GCM Racing 1 has on YouTube. If you go to gcmracing.ca and order this kit, there's a link in the description that goes to the build videos. Now, there is an assembly video to this, but there is not an assembly video that I could find anywhere of how this all goes together. Now, there's a video where Chris shows you how to mount it on the chassis and what is needed to do that, but there's not a video that shows how you mount the transmission to the plate and how you mount the motor to the plate. He explains in the video that you can use the stock axial transmission, or you can use the 2-speed AX2 transmission with this kit, but you have to order the specific plate that you want. If you're going to use the AX2, it's a different plate than this. They're similar, but there's enough differences where you have to specify when you order. Make sure you get the right one. I had a couple pieces of hardware missing in the kit. Those lock nuts that you see right there holding the transfer case down, those lock nuts were not included. Those are out of my personal stock. And actually, the mounting screw here, the mounting screws there, the servo screws this screw, the front screw on both sides, those are all mine out of my Team K&K stainless hardware kit that I bought. It doesn't explain to you, and there's no really, like I said, there's no instructions for this when you get it. And it's, it's basically straightforward, but it's supposed to come with all the hardware to do everything, and but it doesn't tell you which hardware goes where. There's no, there's no, real direction to go with it as far as which screw goes where. So basically, I just broke out my Team K&K hardware kit, and I put the thing together. I was able to pause and take a few screenshots of the video when Chris was showing, what this thing looks like when it's assembled. So I was able to pretty much, put it together without much problem. One thing that's kind of, which I was curious about before I bought the kit, and I didn't really watch the entire video before I bought it, but as you see, there's two mounting holes on this side. Well, there's also two mounting holes on this side, and those are not used. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to let that fly or not. It's bothering me, so I will probably end up drilling two holes down here through my transmission mount, and I'll probably put some spacers underneath there, and I don't know, I'll just feel better about it. It's secure. It's not going nowhere. It's just, I don't know, it's bothering me. It's just one of them things. I don't think I can live with it. Alright, but other than that, I like it, I used the wild bore shaft up here, and I used the two new MIPs I got for the from the transfer case to the axles. My wild bore shaft, I modified it a little bit. If you take a stock axial aluminum link and you trim it to fit inside of the male side of your drive shaft, this is on the wild bores now, you trim it to fit inside there. It's a tight fit, it's a good fit, and it'll strengthen up your wild bores a little bit. I know a lot of people have twisted them off, and I'm not saying that you won't twist it if you do this mod, but it does strengthen them up some. And I've done that, and I've ran this rig on 3S a couple times now, and I got in some pretty sketchy situations. It was putting a pretty good amount of stress on it, and I haven't twisted them or nothing. There's no sign of any damage whatsoever on the drive shaft. So it might be a mod. It might be something you might think about if you got an extra axial link laying around. They're perfect size to fit inside there. I may do a video on that one day just to kind of show you, what you need to do and how I did it. But also, you see how I got my batteries mounted here. These are two 2200 3S lipos. I had a 4000 milliamp 3S and 4000 and a 5000. I had two separate batteries. They're full size lipos. But I knew I was going to be running this setup here, so I needed to come up with something different, because I normally either mount my battery tray up in the front this way, or leave it in the stock position but trim the spacer so it sits down as low as possible. In this case, what I did yesterday is I took and made me a couple simple L brackets. Nothing special there, just some simple L brackets. Trimmed them down to fit, and drilled a couple holes in a couple of the stock battery trays. I had one for this kit, and then I had an extra one in my parts drawer. So that's where my batteries are going to mount. I'm going to put my Homes Hobbies BRXL ESC right there, and my XR4 4-channel receiver is going to go in here along with my Castle BEC. I'm going to also try to fit it in there. So I got a lot of electronics to do. I got to get everything cut to length. I got to get everything landed in the proper spot. But everything's moving along nice. I'm running a 55 turn axial motor here. I've kind of stuck with the the cheaper brush motors, guys, and that's because I run a lot of creek beds, and I have a tendency to end up in a nasty mud hole. And you know, yeah, I want a Torque Master or Expert or Pro motor from Homes Hobbies. I'd like to have one. I just haven't been able to justify spending that type of money on a motor when, you know, I have a tendency to, like I said, to hit a nasty mud hole and it's shot. And you know, yeah, I can rebuild those motors and you know, probably save some money. But for $10, $12, you know, I just keep a few of these laying around, and you know, it's all good. Just swap it out. But I don't know. I guess for now, guys, that's pretty much where I'm standing with the build. Nothing, you know, not a whole lot of custom work so far. It's pretty much just been modifications and you know, accessories that I'm adding on. We'll get into some custom work later on, hopefully. Maybe a little tube work, a little bumper work. Got some interior work to do. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, guys. I appreciate y'all's time. Thank you for watching, and you guys keep at it. Keep the good inspirational videos coming.